Hello and welcome to the Scarlet Wolf cast. This is Scarlet R, and I'm speaking with my co.
This is Brown Wolf. How's it going, guys?
All right, so I'm really excited for this episode of the podcast just because I'm recording in a completely different setting. A friend of mine is being really kind and letting me use her recording studio. So there's going to be less audio issues like tinniness and, those hard pops, those when you hit those P, you know what I mean?
I get you.
So yeah, let's see. What should we start with this week? Should we get right into news or should we talk about what we've been watching?
What have you been watching? I have two things I'd like to talk about, but you can go ahead.
The main thing I've been watching is Castlevania. Uh, I binged the first two seasons to get ready for the third season that just came. And I really like the series. But I don't know. Some of it has a hard time like sinking in for me. Like a lot of the characters' names still don't like resonate with me yet. Like I think Sypha, is that her name? The blonde-haired girl? I don't know. Do you know Castlevania at all, Brown?
Only the Lord of Shadow game, so not familiar with I imagine they're based off the NES games.
Well, the Netflix series, I think it's based off. I have no idea. Like I heard Symphony of the Night because Alucard is in it. That's it. That's all I know.
Yeah, so this would
I
be
can feel somebody screaming in the comments right now, telling us that it's actually based on, I don't know, the original NES version. Or
yeah.
maybe Simon's Quest. Maybe it's based on Simon's Quest. Everyone remember?
You know what? If I was Netflix, I would totally try to get James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd, somehow in that series, like as a voice or like a cameo. That would. Yeah. So yeah, I am a big fan of the Lord of Shadow games, though. Every Castlevania fan I've ever met kind of considers them like the black sheep of the family. I know most people don't really
Mm-hmm.
like them, but they're the first ones I played, so I actually really like them. And they actually have really decent voice acting and like a cool story.
Decent voice acting.
Oh
What
yeah.
era?
Oh, they're from the 360. They're hack and slashes. They're like God of War.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can pick them up pretty cheap. I think they re-released them on a PS4 and Xbox One. I'm not 100% on that, but
Yeah, I mean, it would be worth looking into. I
yeah,
really liked the only Castlevania game I ever played was the original one, not on the NES, but on the NES and on the Wii. I
uh,
never actually beat it, but I love
but
it. Anyway, the show is also good. Surprisingly gory, especially considering like Captain N and their portrayal of Castlevania, like going from that family friendly, like, ooh, I forget what they in Captain N. Do you know Captain?
yeah,
Please tell me you know Captain N.
I know Captain N. So I was a fan and kind of sort of I just talked to him online a bit. There was this guy who used to make dubs, as I guess you would call them. He would take like original footage
Right.
from. He's most famous for a show called Spider Dub, but he did a few Captain N skits.
Last time on Spider-Man. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Good luck, kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know of it.
Yeah,
I know of it as well. I've never seen the original show. I'm just
Yeah.
really glad that my references weren't completely lost.
Yeah, I watched a lot when in early YouTube days. I used to watch a lot of that like nostalgia, like 8-bit, 16-bit video game review stuff that was very popular back then.
Right. I did too. Like a lot of angry video game nerds.
Yeah, like
Yep.
my big one was always, which I later found out was just a he wasn't a rip off, but he stole his name from he used to go by Happy Video Game Nerd. He's like stopped skeletons from dancing now. His stuff's pretty good if you guys want to check it out.
Okay.
Yeah. So, have you been watching anything else?
Phineas and Ferb on Disney Plus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I slept on Phineas and Ferb when I was growing up. When it first, so I started watching it, and I've been really.
Yeah, I've always
It's just
seen
a
bits
fun
from
car.
it.
You've only seen bits?
Yeah, like little clips people send me, and it actually looks pretty funny.
Yeah, it is really funny.
I really like the doctor guy. That's the clips they usually send me.
Yeah, Dr. Doofenshmirtz. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
I wish I could do an impression of him, but
I don't know how anyone could. I don't know what accent that's supposed to be. I guess German.
yeah, it's German.
Oh, so yeah, one of my the favorite bits I saw from that was I grew up in Texas, and
Mhm.
there's this clip, and I don't know the context of what he's doing in the show. I just know he's like trying to take over the world, but he builds this
Yeah.
machine to make himself like the greatest country song, and like if you know anything
Right.
about country, it's like the most. It's like the most on the nose shit. Like if you listen to country for more than like 10 minutes, you would totally get it.
Let me tell you my evil scheme. I'm gonna enslave your minds with a predictable melody and uncomplicated rhymes. Then if I ask you to, you'd even change your name to Amy, because you're gonna yodel, 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 obey me.
Yeah, I actually just saw that episode before I came here.
I love coincidence like that.
Yeah. That was a pretty good one. The song itself was actually really neat. Part of the draw of Phineas and Ferb is that there's a song in an episode. So a lot of people just really like the music from the show.
Yeah, so the only episode I've seen fully of it, because I actually really liked the music someone shared of it, was I think the kids were trying to get back together a band that their parents met at.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm trying to remember. Love Handle. That's the name of the band.
Yeah, I'll look it up and put it in the episode description. But yeah, I actually generally enjoyed the music from it. That's why I actually watched that episode.
Yeah, that was a good one. That's one of the early ones from the first, I think. So pretty early on. At least it was in the Disney Plus version. I already ranted about how they changed the airing order for most of their shows.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have been complaining about that.
Yeah, it's just the truth. Like, when you're talking about like art preservation, you should be thinking about that kind of stuff, because it really does kind of ruin some of the storytelling beats that
Yeah.
'cause those shows like DuckTales or Phineas and Ferb, don't have a whole lot of callbacks. So when they do have callbacks, they have to land. They
Yeah.
don't on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And I just ranted again. God damn it!
Well, hopefully they'll get it fixed. I know you're not the only one, trust me, on the podcast I've been listening to. Actually, speaking of that, did you watch that episode of the new DuckTales that we talked about last time? You get a chance?
Oh shit. No, I didn't. Is it okay if I curse on this podcast?
Oh yeah,
I'm
fine.
gonna curse anyway.
Yeah,
You can
I curse
edit
all
it
the time,
out.
too.
It's
No, I curse all the time, actually.
well shit, I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll try to send that to you again, and then if I remember next time, maybe we can discuss it.
Yeah, that was my bad.
No, that's all right.
I'll ask you about it after the show. I don't want it to be repeated on the show.
It's fine, yeah. So, speaking of the Phineas Ferb thing, that was actually, have you watched their, that spin-off show, or like I don't know what you call it, it was made by the same creator, but it's in the same universe.
I haven't heard anything about that. Please tell me about it.
It's called Milo Murphy's Law.
Okay.
And the only reason I found out about this show was I came up with a D&D character for it, through Dice Funk. I came up with this idea, and it apparently is exactly the plot of this show. That this character would be the conduit of failure, meaning that he would fail at anything he tried, but he eventually figured out that if he just tries to do the wrong thing, then what he actually wants will happen.
Oh, okay.
So I told someone that on the server, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you want to check out Milo Murphy's Law?" Apparently, that's what happens in most every episode.
Milo Murphy's.
Yeah, he's cursed by Murphy's Law, apparently.
Anyway, been playing any games lately?
No, I haven't been playing any games lately. I have the new Doom coming up. But I do actually have 2 shows I would like to discuss. So.
Oh, you do? Okay, sorry.
No, it's alright. So, I renewed my Verb subscription, which is like a streaming service that has a bunch of different streaming services in it.
Right. So,
Yeah.
bundle.
Yeah. So I mistakenly thought that Beastars, that new anime on Netflix, would be on Crunchyroll. I didn't realize it was a Netflix exclusive.
I don't think Beastars is on Net. Is it? Otherwise, I would have watched it. Unless it got buried.
Yeah, someone told me.
Oh, man. Okay.
Because I can't find it on Crunchyroll. And it's not on Funimation, but I don't have a subscription to Funimation, but I couldn't find it on their page either.
I'll after we're done.
Yeah. So anyway, I got suggested a show by a creator I actually used to follow back in the day, called EP3 Erase. Sorry if I'm butchering that name. I just have trouble with words like that.
It's okay. Yeah, I love Epithet Erased, actually.
Yeah, the creator, Jello Apocalypse, I used to follow all the time. He used to have these hilarious welcome to videos where he'd do like Facebook or YouTube or any kind of social media.
Right.
Yeah, but man, I
think he did a welcome to Tumblr one that I saw a few times.
Oh yeah, I love that. Before Tumblr died.
Yep.
I used to use Tumblr all the time. That I hated when they just like burned that thing to the ground.
Yeah, they really did. I missed most of the burning due to just like my life going up in flames at the so I don't know most of the details of how like Tumblr actually,
Well,
but
it's old news, but I can try to sum it up. Basically, there was an issue where some child porn, unfortunately, was found on one of them and then removed instantly.
uh,
But
mhm.
so that caused Apple to completely remove Tumblr from the App Store. So what Tumblr did, instead of just more closely monitoring its site, they just completely got rid of anything that was remotely not safe for work. But that also means they scrubbed a
Oh,
bunch of artists' pages because some of them do a lot of safer work, or a lot of like sometimes not safe for work but not really that bad stuff.
right.
Yeah, and then I know a bunch. I can't speak to it, but a bunch of like LGBT and a bunch of other communities like that also got wiped for some reason.
Oh yeah, because a lot of LGBT stuff is considered not safe for work
Yeah, it sucks.
or not safe for children,
I
which
know
is why
that. Yeah, I
I'm
know.
mad at YouTube because a lot of
Oh yeah,
sorry.
it's I get what you. I know all about that YouTube shit too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a sad time, but
yeah. It actually kind of sucks because
not a whole lot I can do.
yeah, there's not a whole lot most people can do about it. Um, yeah, it kind of sucks because after that happened, Verizon just sold them because it like lost almost all its users after that. Um,
Wow.
and Pornhub was actually interested in buying them to just restore it to what it was. But I guess the WordPress bought them, which is like makes websites and like templates and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, but they just left it exactly the same. They're not planning on changing it. So most people predict it's going to close down in like a year or so.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, anyway, let's get back to the I think we got off track from the show. I'm sorry about that.
no, it's okay. I enjoyed our little side venture.
Yeah. So Epiphet Erase is a really unique show. It's I
Mm-hmm.
watched some interviews on how he made it. It's apparently based off a D&D campaign, which if you watch the show makes a lot of sense because they'll actually use stats and damage points and all that.
Yeah, I was wondering why there was so much of that.
Yeah.
I
Apparent
thought it was more like a game, but I didn't even make the D&D connection until
Yeah, I think it's like a homebrewed D&D. It's not based on any campaign, but yeah.
right. I mean, clearly because it takes place in modern day. Everybody um do you want to talk about what epithets are?
Yeah, so since a lot of our people who I've noticed listen are from Dice Funk, I'll first
Mhm.
explain it this way. If you're from the Dice Funk or familiar with Dice Funk, it's basically a conduit. If you're not, I think the
Mhm.
closest thing would be a JoJo stand, which is basically some people have a magical power, and what the magical power does depends on the person's training, just what they're born with, and each of them are very unique and special, especially in this case of this show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For instance,
Epithet Erased is not as violent as JoJo. Just gonna put
oh
that
no,
out
it's
there.
not.
Epithet Erased is downright family friendly.
Yeah. For example, there's a scene where there's a villain that uses revolvers, but in the Epithet Erased world, bullets just do minor piercing damage like D&D, and they knock you out, basically.
Right. I thought that was really fun. More fun than the usual suspension of disbelief where you just have to believe that both sides are going to miss.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like in movies, firefights go on for way longer than they do in.
Well, I think other
I
than
mean,
that clumsy sheriff, I think that character's the only one that has a gun. I think the bad guys use literal pea shooters. I think their guns actually shoot peas, if I remember correctly.
oh, is that?
Yeah, I think that's why
That's
they call them
hilarious.
pea shooters, because they actually shoot peas instead of bullets.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah. So anyway, the plot is the best way I can describe it. The first arc centers around a girl named Molly, who gets trapped in a museum and then gets caught up in a heist, multiple heists actually, and has to team up with these
Right.
villains to stop other villains. It gets really complicated.
Mhm.
Yeah. Then the second arc, the villain Molly helps, and we'll go more into detail with it in a second, but the villain Molly helps actually ends up getting the item that he's after by the end of the first arc. And they go to this little desert
Right.
town, and then these two other characters sort of have their little side adventure where they fight this gunslinger.
Is that really the whole thing?
Yeah, that's the first season, really. I mean, it's a really short summary of it. You can get into more
Okay.
like what the characters are in, but there's so many arcs and like different character motivations. I didn't want to go through the whole thing or we'd be here all day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you
the
guys
kind of
should watch
thing
it.
that I
highly
want to
recommend
watch.
it.
I highly recommend it too. It's a lot of fun, especially if you're into dice funk, because that clears all.
Yeah, actually, I found out you can watch them all free on YouTube. They're all on Jello Apocalypse's channel, so you don't have to pay nothing.
That's where I watch.
Yeah.
I can't
So-
wait for the second season.
Yeah, he's definitely looking into it. He hasn't confirmed it. I watched this whole interview, which I'll send you later.
Right. I guess I shouldn't assume that there will be a second season.
Yeah,
I really hope
is.
there will.
Yeah, especially because it kind of ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, exactly. But doesn't everything these days, everything's trying to be an extended universe or have sequel,
Yeah. Like,
tie into other things?
This is gonna sound weird, because I still really like Far From Home and all that. I'd actually would have really loved if after Infinity War they had like just stopped making Marvel movies for at least a little while.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. But of
Yeah.
course, they have to keep making.
Well, like I could see it, but do it like have an older Spider-Man. You get what I mean? Like wait a few years, have Spider-Man when like he's in his 30s. Because there are comics where he's older. You don't have to keep doing the teenage and 20-year-old Spider-Man. You could do the confident Spider-Man.
Yeah, but they're going for what's like most mass market appeal. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and teenage Spidey is what resonates most with the audience.
Yeah. I mean, I love Spider-Man and all versions I've ever seen.
Have you
Oh, go ahead.
Have you seen Spider-Verse?
I love Spider-Verse. It's one of my favorite animated movies of all time.
Oh, okay. Is that why you want to see
Yeah, I want to
30-year-old
basically see
Spider-Man.
Peter B. Parker, the movie.
I don't blame you. I'd want to see that too.
Yeah. I've even heard rumors that they're gonna do, because they've confirmed a sequel, that they might bring in Old Man Milo.
Old Man Milo.
Yeah, so like in that Old Man Logan, which is what Logan is based off of, which is like a post-apocalypse Marvel. The original Spider-Man
Right.
doesn't make it, but Milo does.
Okay.
Yeah.
But who's Milo?
Oh, I might be mispronouncing Miles. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I thought it was. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm bad with names.
That
guys.
still doesn't clear things up for me. I don't know
Miles-
Spider-Man that well.
Oh, Miles is the main Spider-Man Spider-Verse, the one that gets trained by.
Oh,
him.
Miles Morales. Okay, I guess
Yeah.
I have to have both.
Yeah.
I think I have to have names in order for me to remember. God.
Well, when I first heard about him,
You know what's embarrassing? The
Go
first
ahead.
thing I think of when I think Miles is the goddamn fox from Sonic.
Tails?
Tails' real name is Miles. Fun fact.
Oh my god, I did not know that.
Yeah,
I don't think
his
I've ever
name
played a
is
Sonic
Miles.
game.
You've never played a Sonic?
No, not that I know of. I think I played the mobile game once.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, most Sonic games are pretty bad. So, and I'm saying that as a Sonic fan. I'm sorry, but it's
I'm weirdly familiar.
only
with the...
Sonic 3 is. I'm just gonna burn all the bridges.
Yeah.
My favorite Sonic game is Sonic 3 and Knuckles, so that's what I would.
I am weirdly familiar with the characters because I follow a bunch of artists that like to draw them a lot, and there's also
Oh, okay.
I used to be a really big fan of the Game Grumps, like when Danny first showed up, and it was
I was a big fan of Game Grumps too for.
Yeah, it was always almost guaranteed that they played a Sonic game that would be fantastic because Aaron would rage because they always played the shitty ones.
Yep.
One of my
Oh,
favorite
man.
is still, and I'll look it up, is him trying to catch Froggy, which I guess is the pet of the big cat guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that freak out
And
is so
that's
funny.
just his name. His name is just.
It's just Big the cat.
You got it. You got it right.
You know, this is funny. Just recently, like the other day, me and someone on the Discord were talking about why we don't know how this came up, but why like all the guys in the Sonic universe don't wear clothes, but all the women do.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
I actually
what
never
logical
noticed.
sense does that make?
Yeah, it's a pretty obvious flaw in the world design of Sonic.
Yeah. You have to do one or the
I
other.
feel
or
like
people
in
are
the
always gonna
comics there were characters who wore like Sally had like a jacket.
Yeah, Sally's the one. I'll shout out this artist I really like. He's called Ed Tropolis. He doesn't do non-safe for work stuff, but it's a little suggestive.
Okay.
But yeah, he draws a lot of Sally. I know he likes that character a lot.
That's great. I'm here. I'm just trying to think of a response to
We can change the subject.
Sally fan art.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, I know what you think of when. I just follow a bunch of artists. I always have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have the hands for it, but I always wanted to be like an animator or like draw stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I I drew
Yeah.
something good once, and people were like, "Wow, that was," and that made me wonder if, like, maybe I could have been, you know?
Yeah. I have a slight cerebral palsy in my hands. So, my hands just basically kind of shake a little bit, so it's a little hard for me to hold pencil steady. I could do it with a lot of
Right.
practice, but I need to actually, like, I've tried online tutorials, but I think I would benefit if I went to, like, an actual class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sounds hard to deal with.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. I had to go through a lot of therapy when I was a kid, but I'm good now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
I guess we can talk about, since we've both seen that show, who is your favorite character in Epithet Erased?
Probably Molly.
Oh, I feel so much for Molly. I was so much like her as a
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
kid. Yeah.
I love her design and her character. She's just, and that's most of why I like her.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
it's amazing design.
I have a thing for adorable characters who get thrust into horrible situations and then find their way out. So she
What?
does that, and that's great.
Yeah, she has one of my favorite lines in the show.
Oh yeah?
I hope I am not hit by a gun or a real-ass goddamn sword.
Hey, Gats!
She swore.
And I don't feel bad about it. My innocent youth is already being corrupted by bad guy proximity.
Yeah, my favorite character was actually Gino of all of them.
Gino? Alright, remind me who he...
His full name is
I'm
Giovanni.
terrible with names.
Yeah, his full
Giovanni.
name. He's the red-headed guy in the yellow uniform that helps Molly.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, redhead guy.
Yeah, I'm bad at names.
I remember him mostly for his voice. He has a very distinct...
Yeah, that was a very unique voice. Yeah, but I just love that.
Why
guy's
was he your
personality.
favorite character? Sorry.
Oh no, I just loved his personality.
Right, yeah, I loved his personality too. I liked that he and Molly kind of bonded a little. Not really, but I liked their dynamic, is what I'm trying to say.
I like how he kind of taught her how to be more confident.
Yeah, exactly. I just didn't want to say, like, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I also liked, what the hell is it? I think it might be Inginus, but he was the barrier guy.
Barrier!
Oh, Ignis?
Yeah, that dude was hilarious.
Yeah. Barrier!
Barriers!
Oh, man.
Yeah, we're like, I do want to
Most
save
of
the
what he does
dinosaur.
is scream barrier, so me screaming barrier was appropriate.
Barrier!
Yeah.
Lampshaded
clips
that.
for all of it.
Yeah, might as well. Ooh, what if you had him shout barrier every time I said
Barrier!
I'm probably gonna do that.
It's too bad I don't say fuck.
Yeah, I also really like the, I do not remember his name, but the rat face guy who can turn into gold.
Oh, yeah. He was cool.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And that Zora.
I always have a soft spot for those kinds.
Yeah, the like kind of like thief type, but he's got a heart of gold, which is I actually kind of realize is very ironic to that character.
Wait, you just realized it now?
Yeah, I didn't put the connection together that he has a heart of gold and he can turn into gold.
Yep. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to notice that too. I got it right at the end of the episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The cop was also really funny. I love how she talks. I don't know what that accent is, but it's just really interesting.
Yeah, I don't remember her name. But she Percy.
I think it
Yeah,
might be Percy.
yeah. She was fun.
Yeah. And then Zora, which is like the cowboy chick, she was a really cool like villain.
Yeah, she was the best. I loved her. I can't wait for her to come back. Hopefully in the next season, maybe. Please make it.
Yeah. I could like legitimately see her as like a JoJo villain going back to that. Like in a different anime,
Oh
I could
yeah.
see her being a huge villain, like one that would take like a whole arc to beat, because that power is ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The only character, and maybe they'll flesh him out in the second season, I didn't get was and since I don't know his name, I'm just gonna call him John Henry, which is the guy who didn't have an epithet power, but like could work really fast.
Oh yeah. He was interesting, but you're right. Like they're clearly going to develop him more. He doesn't really seem to fit in all that with this season.
Yeah, this the two I would call them different arcs really don't seem to flow together very well. I would say, if I had a criticism of the show.
Yeah, and that's a fair criticism to make.
Yeah, like basically, other than a few scenes, when they go into the second arc, Gino from the first arc shows up in a new town, but he kind of basically runs away after he has the main item of the show, which I guess we didn't explain. They're all after an amulet that can steal the epithet powers, so you could have multiple of those powers.
It's also bright green, right?
Yeah, it's bright green, but I think it changes color depending on which epithet it has in there.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Because I remember I rewatched the episode with the hypnotist that can turn into the cow guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he has his stolen to demonstrate how it works. And when the villain that defeats him puts it in there, it turns orange.
Oh, okay. I didn't even notice. But it's green most of the time.
Yeah, it's green when it doesn't have one in there. I don't know. Maybe it just turns orange when you do. I'm sure they'll flesh it out.
Yeah. I think it would be cool if every epithet had its own unique color.
Yeah, I would love that. That's the one thing I love about that show, and I just love like any kind of show. I really like when characters and powers have like a distinct style to them, distinct color to them.
Yeah, me too. Colors are really important when it comes to like my eye, at least. Like if something has a good color palette, I don't care what it's for. It could be for, I don't know, mechanical mascots for mechanical pencils. If it has a good color palette, then I'm like, hey.
Yeah. I actually think that's if you were to compare the Marvel Cinematic Universe to the DC Cinematic Universe, I think that's one of their biggest problems. Is the DC all kind of they all kind of have that like bleached out kind of gritty look. But when you get into Marvel, they all have their own sort of like color and style to them.
Yeah, especially Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is my
Guardians of the
favorite.
Galaxy.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy had a ton of color to it.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I have that, but we can use that as a jumping point, real quick. Sam
Okay.
I don't have the article. I can try to bring it up here in a second. Sam Raimi is set to direct the next Doctor Strange movie. It's going to be a horror movie, actually.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Did the mic pick that up?
Yeah, no, the mic hurt.
I mean, oh fuck!
Yeah, here. Yep. It's a little old.
Oh man, I'm actually.
Yeah. There we go. It's a little old, but yeah, he's been confirmed to direct.
Let me pull up my cell phone. Do.
Let me see if I can find a more current one. That's the first one that came up.
If this actually. I don't know. It would make sense for Disney to actually try something like.
Yeah, because each Marvel movie is not really just a superhero movie. They're each they're like their own genre.
Right. And it makes sense to go the horror route with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Because you could do cosmic horror with him, really.
Yeah. I'm not too familiar with Doctor Strange, but I know he gets into like cosmic and even like H.P. Lovecraft kind of style.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Sam Raimi, he would be awesome for that. I was a huge fan of the Evil Dead movies when I was a teen. And a lot of his
Yeah, I'm
movies are
still a
really
big fan of the Evil Dead movie.
Yeah, me too.
I'll go to bat for the Evil Dead movie.
Now I wonder, do you think he can sneak Bruce Campbell like he did with the Spider-Man movies?
I think as long as Bruce plays
Plays what? I'm sorry.
I really hope so. That would be really rad to see Bruce Campbell in a Marvel.
Yeah, I wonder what he would play though. He has to play like a really bad or like obscure superhero or villain. Like I have no
What
idea.
if he was just his own original character and was like a side?
That'd be funny. Yeah. Oh my god,
Like,
what if he's
I don't know.
because I heard some rumors they might be doing the to bring in the X-Men, they might be doing like Spider-Verse with the alternate dimensions. What if he's just a really shitty
Oh.
Spider-Man?
Wait, but you said for X-Men,
Yeah, for
a multiverse.
Yeah. So Disney now owns Fox, so they want to bring the X-Men in. But to make sense in the current timeline, they have to kind of do the whole Spider-Verse thing. Because mutants haven't been a thing. And
It makes sense.
yeah. Because if you're going to do like Wolverine, who's been around since the Civil War and all that, you're going to have to bring him from another dimension or reboot the... That's at least the rumors I've been hearing.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, that should be real interesting.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see it. I wish I had more to say on the subject, but I'm just excited. Like, yeah, let's see what they can. Because like right now they're in a very pivotal stage. Because you know they need to show that they can actually do more than the event.
Yeah.
Because like for me, at least, all of this entire Marvel Cinematic Universe thing was building up to that moment that Thanos snapped his.
Yeah, they
Like,
definitely need to come up with some. I know their next movie is The Black Widow, which looks neat, but they probably should have done before Infinity War. Or
yeah,
Endgame.
they definitely should have.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just call it Infinity War, and I combine both movies. And
Yeah, well, I called it Infinity War for so long because it was supposed to be Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2, and then they changed it to Endgame.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, that Black Widow movie looks interesting. I really want to see what deal with the Soviet Captain America. I'm not very familiar with that character.
Yeah, I wish I could say I'm familiar with him.
Yeah, I think he's obscure. But I really like that actor. He plays the sheriff, Jim, in Stranger Things.
Oh shit! Hey, so that's why he died. Oh, spoilers.
Oh
Shit.
no. Okay, so that's actually a crazy fan theory rumor thing going around. So, spoilers from the new trailer for the last season of Stranger Things. Jim's alive, but he's in Russia. I guess he got transported, basically.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
the joke
I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, the joke on the internet is that that Jim became the Soviet Captain America, and it ties into Stranger Things.
Man, that would be so rad.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of crazy there's one I want to be true, is that it actually that Stranger Things 4, since it's gonna take place in Siberia, it actually connects to the Thing, the 1984 Thing.
Ooh, I see. That could be interesting.
Yeah, it could totally work, actually, if you think about those two
Right.
monsters.
Mm-hmm. They're already pretty similar. Just one of them,
Yeah,
eating.
Yeah, even apparently the timelines line up if you look at it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Wait, what do you mean? The time?
So the year season 4 is taking place, I guess, I don't know the exact date, like 1986 or 1980 something, is the same year that The Thing takes place in.
No way.
Yeah, it might just be coincidence because each season they've done, like, they tell you what year it is just because of, the kids got older. But someone connected the dots and
Right.
found out it would work. Okay, so let's get to some of the news. I don't want to keep you all night.
Sounds good. How far are we in the
Again, I need to get
Oh,
a timer going. I have to find actually, about 50 minutes.
50 minutes?
I think, if I'm reading
Wow.
this right.
Okay. Well, let's get to the news. Let's keep.
Yeah, we might not be able to do all of them, but some of these are not that important anyway, so let's see.
All right.
Here's the first one. And we have, they are apparently producing a sequel to Chicken Run.
Right. So this should be interesting. I know this company treats its stuff with a lot of respect, so it's not the same if somebody were to say, do a sequel to, I don't know, Fern Gully thing. Oh well, I guess Fern Gully wasn't good, but
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I'm a huge Armin fan. I always loved Wallace and Gromit as a kid.
For whatever reason, I just never got into Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, it's a very
It's
specific
not
kind of
that.
humor.
Huh?
It's a very specific kind of humor.
Well, it just wasn't around for. Like, I didn't even know about Wallace and Gromit until I was at least in middle.
Yeah, it's more of a British thing. They used to play it on Cartoon Network when I was a kid a lot, at least in my area.
Oh. Well, that's why I wasn't allowed to watch Cartoon Network until old for a
Makes
kid.
sense. Yeah, so not too much on that. There's not a lot to this article. They just said it's in development. Again, the original writer Armin on it, so I have pretty high confidence in it. I have liked a lot of their movies. I didn't see their more recent one. I believe it was about cavemen, but it's about soccer, which I don't know much about. So.
Don't you mean football?
Yeah, good old football.
Yes, we call it football. Alright. Anyway.
Okay, let's get the next one going here. So Samurai Jack is getting a video game since the first time since like the early 2000s.
Right. This should be good.
Yeah, it looks pretty decent.
Have you seen the footage of it?
Yeah, it doesn't look like AAA, but it still looks pretty good for what it is.
Yeah. I'm not expecting anything like out of it. Like, when I heard a Samurai Jack game, I envisioned fighting through the entire show and levels based on like each episode and stuff like that. And that's just not like the reality of a gaming studio now.
Yeah, I'm sure
Because
they'll
like
have
these
some
guys
big
aren't a
fights.
very big studio. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm saying I'm sure they'll have like the big, like memorable enemies in there.
Yeah, like you're gonna fight Aku.
Yeah, you'll definitely. That's in the trailer. I think you'll fight Aku. I think you'll probably fight the Guardian guy. Probably some of the like beetle robots, I imagine.
Right.
Yeah, were you ever a big fan of Samurai Jack?
Yeah, I didn't really watch it up until I was in high school. I still haven't seen the entire series, but I saw the airing on Adult Swim when they did, and that was kind of a big moment for me, just because like something from my childhood was finally getting closure.
Oh yeah, I love that. So when it comes to reboots, that's kind of what I want. I want things where it had like a open and end goal, but never got completed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love what they did with that last season is like so. I don't know how to put it. Honestly.
So.
Um.
I'm trying
Heavy,
to
but in a
think.
good
I'm trying
way.
to think of words too, but it's just not.
Yeah. Well, like I think like I could put it this way. It was really, really intense for me to see Jack, a character who, as a kid, you know, could like defeat any enemy, like legitimately consider committing Sudoku, which is basically suicide.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
I'm really sorry, but did you say?
What? Sorry.
Did you say Sudoku?
I hope I didn't, but I might have.
That's what I heard.
Oh, no,
I really.
I might have done that. Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's alright. I think I might have done that, actually.
I just had this perfect image of Jack getting ready to perform, seppuku. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know how.
think so. I'd have to look up.
Seppuku.
Yeah.
And then you said Sudoku, and then his eyes widened, and he looks down, and his sword was replaced with a pen and pencil. And
Oh my god, I can't believe I made that mistake.
no, it's okay. You know, when we re-listen to it, it'll probably say sep. I can't.
We'll see.
And then.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll
Trying to
see.
get back on subject. Yeah, that was actually pretty intense to see that, I have to say.
Yeah, it was. It's kind of up there for me with seeing Optimus Prime in the original Transformers movie, not the new Transformers movies.
Oh, the old animated one?
Lol, those movies are old. Yeah, I'm talking about the one from.
Yeah. Oh, actually, speaking of that, we can go into our next story. There is a new Transformers anime, I actually believe, on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when it's dropping, but it should be dropping soon.
I hope it's good.
Yeah, the trailer looks promising.
Yeah, the trailer looks promising. They have all their ducks in a row. What's interesting about it is that it focuses on the last few hours of the war, apparently, according to this article.
I did not realize
So there
that.
aren't going to be any humans in this. Thank fucking God somebody figured it out. We don't need humans in Transformers.
Well, we don't need what's his face yelling at Optimus Prime to just do it.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, just giving him the motivational
Actual
speech.
cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
Actual cannibal.
Trust me, it makes sense if you watch that movie or video.
Oh my god.
He's an actual cannibal, Shia LaBeouf.
I did not know that. I'll have to look that up.
I'll link it to you.
Yeah, that'll when we get to it, it's a little down the way, but that's actually going to bring up a really good question for one of the other articles we have.
All right.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, this looks pretty promising. I'm not I didn't grow up with the 80s Transformers, but this appears to be the 80s designs.
Oh yeah, that should be noted.
Yeah. I like the Optimus design a lot better. I like his head's more of a helmet than like having a weird mouth thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we comparing to the movie designs or?
The thing is, I'm comparing it to the movie designs, and then before the movie designs, there was some early 2000s Transformers, but I have no idea what they're called, and I doubt I could find.
Yeah.
To look up.
The only one I could tell you about was Transformers Armada.
Yeah.
That was the one I grew up with. And I don't think Optimus had a face in that one. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
it's
he
been
just
so
had
long.
the. I covered my face to mimic his mask, and I assumed that you would get it. And I forgot that you can't see me right now. Nobody can see
That's
me.
fine. We're having a normal one. Oh, before we get off this, you know what one of my favorite bits from a movie I've never seen is? So,
What's that?
So, in the very last Michael Bay Transformers they did before they rebooted it, there's a scene where they go to this old guy's house. He's been Apparently, the Transformers have been on the planet since God knows when, basically since the Revolutionary War, and they have done things.
Okay.
They have photos, and they have done things from fought the Nazis to help Harriet Tubman run the Underground Railroad.
Wow.
Yeah, that is a real thing. You can look that up. And apparently the Transformers have never mentioned this because they have robot Alzheimer's. Is the excuse.
Wait. Robot Alzheimer's?
Yeah, that's what the old man says, because the character, I guess it's Mark Wahlberg at that point, asks Bumblebee, is like, wait, why didn't you tell me this before? And he's like, I don't remember it. And he's like, oh yeah, he has like dementia, or his memory's going because he's so old. And then they just just kind of shuffle past it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, those movies are a mess.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
Transformers 2 broke me.
Yeah. I watched up to the first Mark Wahlberg one, actually, because my parents are into bad movies. I was done after the second one, but they just like watching that stuff.
Right.
I've never
My
seen...
family was really into... Sorry?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say my family was really into the Transformers movies.
Yeah.
But I wasn't.
Yeah, I've never seen the Turtles, and I honestly don't want to. I was a big fan of the 2003 one.
Yeah, the Teenage Ninja Turtles, Michael Bay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Those faces.
they look so
Seriously. They actually make me cringe.
Yeah. There's one I always see. There's this creator I follow called Rebel Taxi. He does a bunch of animation reviews and has a podcast.
I used to follow him.
Yeah. Well, he loves quoting this one scene from it. It's the only scene I've seen of that movie, where the cops have the Ninja Turtles at gunpoint, and they say they're monsters, and then Mikey goes, "We're not monsters. Why, they look like horrible, mutant lizard things." Which I guess they are, but those things are just bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on to the other one. I meant to go... this next article, I meant to go see this, but I just ran out of time. But, Sonic the Hedgehog has made $100 million domestically, $200 million worldwide.
Yeah. So I am tempted to say that the curse of the video game adaptation is officially, because Sonic is apparently decent.
Yeah, this
for what it is, and Castlevania.
Yeah, and also Detective Pikachu. It just
and Detective Pikachu was good for what it was.
Yeah, it actually is. Detective Pikachu was just below Sonic now.
Wait, Sonic beat out Detective?
Yeah, just slightly.
How the hell did that happen? Pikachu's way more popular than Sonic.
Well, someone did an article on that. Detective Pikachu came out during a bunch of other movies. I don't remember when it was, but it was a busy movie week. Some big...
Yeah, I remember seeing other movies other than Detective Pikachu and going, too bad I can't see Detective Pikachu.
Yeah. Yeah, but I do definitely want to see the Sonic movie. It sounds really funny.
Yeah, I want to see it too. I'm kind of obligated to,
Yeah.
as like a Sonic comics fan, just to see what they've done.
Yeah, I've been meaning to check out their the Archie comics, right?
Same people who did Sabrina and Archie, obviously.
Yeah, I've been meaning to check those out because a lot of the artists I follow, that's what they're a fan of. They're not really a fan of the Sonic games. They're the fans of the comics.
Yep, that's what got me as a
Yeah. You know what?
the
Actually,
comics are.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say the comics are just better. They're darker than the games. They actually take the story kind of seriously at some, as opposed to the games, which are just constantly, you know. Hey, I can't do it. I was gonna break into a bit, but I'm too tired.
Well, actually, so you just reminded me. There is one Sonic thing I grew up with. Weirdly.
Oh, what's that?
So real early in the mornings before they would start like the Fox Kids or
Oh no,
Warner Brothers,
I think I already know. I think I guessed it, but go on.
they would play not the good one, the Jill Urkel Sonic show.
Jaleel White.
Yeah, the bad one, the Eggman one.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that's
Sonic
rough, man.
Says.
I liked that one as a little kid, and then I got a little bit older
I
and.
was 2 or 3. I honestly remember. And I mean,
Aww.
they would play it like real early in the morning before any of the other cartoons, like the newer cartoons. I guess they just still have the rights to them or something.
Yeah, it was. Was it on Toon Disney?
Oh, it might have been. I can't. It was one of those blocks, like you get up real early in the morning and they would have a block.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is super obscure, but I know that they aired Sonic the Hedgehog, The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
It might have been
on Disney.
I'm thinking it
Sorry.
actually was Toon Disney because I remember also watching Darkwing a lot back then. So.
Yep, then it had to have been Toon Disney.
Yeah. So, not too much.
I missed that.
Yeah, I missed what do they call that? Disney Afternoon, I guess is what they used to call it back in the day.
Yeah.
But I can't wait. So in the new DuckTales, the third season, they're bringing back pretty much every single character from every single Disney Afternoon show. For like one major
Wait,
crossover.
really?
Yep. Goof Troop. They already have Darkwing. Chip and Dale. All of them.
Wow.
I think everyone but Bonkers is what they said.
Why is Bonkers getting the?
Disney does not like Bonkers. I can send you
I
a
think
podcast.
most people don't like Bonkers.
Well, Bonkers is like a weird. I can send you a podcast on that. Bonkers is a show they were kind of obligated to make, not a show they wanted to make. Yeah, but I'll send
you. All right.
Yeah. The short story on that, and I might include the link to the podcast I listened to with it. Bonkers was originally supposed to be a Roger Rabbit show, but
right,
there's a lot of weird legal things with Roger Rabbit. That's why he hasn't really appeared in anything ever since. So they had to change it into Bonkers. And then they just didn't want to make it, and they kind of just did whatever with it.
Yeah, I remember that show not being good.
I remember it very briefly. They didn't rerun it a lot. Okay, so here's the next article. This is just kind of a goofy one, but I just love this meme.
Mm-hmm.
So, Burger King has made this monstrosity, which is just French fries on a hamburger bun with mayonnaise and ketchup. But Wendy's is
Yeah.
burnt on it.
So Wendy's commented on it?
Yeah. Are you familiar with the smug Wendy's anime girl meme?
No, I'm not.
Oh, so like around 2018, who's ever in control of the Wendy's Twitter, like just makes the harshest burns / dunks on like other fast food chains.
Really? Yeah, I'm reading it now.
Yeah, and there's this whole joke. She's like a smug anime girl. Let me see. I might be able to find a picture of that. It might be our podcast thumbnail.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through all the replies. That's literally all we do all day.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have a whole lot to say on this. I
me
think the
neither.
sandwich is interesting, and I'm probably not going to try.
Oh,
And yeah,
yeah, I don't eat fast food a lot anyway, but like Burger King is like, I have to be like starving and there has to be nothing else around.
I know. That was the only time I ever ate Burger King by choice was during a very bad time in my life when I was homeless.
Ooh.
So, you know, like I actually do have good memories of Burger King now because that was when but
Yeah, fair.
yeah, there was a Burger King near where I was staying while I was homeless. So,
Yeah, so that's just a funny little article. We don't have too much more
right.
news. I think we have 3 more articles. Hold on. Sorry, my computer's fighting me. I'll edit this out. Doop. That's just the picture from earlier.
Heading back to the chat. Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, I would love for them, because it's such a meme, for them to do like, I might send, like McDonald's in Japan does anime commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love for them to do that with the Wendy's girl.
Yeah, that would be awesome, but pretty obscure for them to do it.
Oh no, it's a huge meme, actually. The internet was freaking. That was just the latest one. The big one was like a couple months ago. So our next story is Harrison Ford has confirmed an Indiana Jones 5.
Well, since isn't Disney in charge of Indiana Jones now, or did that not get included with?
No, they're in charge. The reason they're making it is Harrison Ford did not want to come back as Han Solo. So he said you have to basically make an Indiana Jones 5 if you want me to come back as Han Solo.
Oh, so he was the one who wanted it.
Yeah, he apparently loves playing Indiana Jones.
Okay. That's awesome. I can really respect that. And I mean, who wouldn't want to play Indiana Jones?
Yeah, it should be interesting. He's going to be really old for this, but... Which also begs the question, because honestly, that not so great Crystal Skull one, Shia LaBeouf was his son and was supposed to take the mantle.
I think they'll have a
Yeah, they'll probably have a
And that's
reference, or maybe he'll just die off screen.
yeah. I wish they wouldn't. I wish they would do what comics do and like pay respect to what happened before retconning in like an event or something.
Yeah, I would like, maybe get Short Round back. Maybe make him the new Indiana Jones. Pass the torch that way.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting. I know that actor. Oh wait, that was a rumor. I remember hearing the actor was interested in being in another Indiana Jones.
Yeah, he's mentioned it before. I've seen that same article.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Well, crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, so they have reported, looking this thing, they won't have Shia LaBeouf back playing the character, but they're not sure
Oh,
if
okay.
that character will show up. Maybe they'll recast him. Which I guess it's been long enough that you could probably do that.
Yeah. Or they could do something completely different and like pretends like Crystal Skull never happened. And it's not like the Indiana Jones movies depend on the movies before them. You can watch the Indiana Jones movies in whatever order you want and it still works.
Yeah. Well, that's the interesting thing about Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom is before oh man, I'm forgetting the name now. The first Indiana Jones.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, it's actually 2 years before.
Right.
Yeah.
That always frustrated me because in the box set they have them in chronological order on the VHS.
Yeah, that doesn't really matter which order you watch them in, I guess, though. Like you were saying.
Yeah, it doesn't. But, like, there's more to Indiana Jones than just those movies. There's also Young Indiana.
Oh, yeah, I saw that on TV recently. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, it wasn't very good from
Yeah.
because like I don't know. I feel like it lost a lot of its teeth since they were aiming it to a younger.
Yeah, that's always an issue. Okay, so the next article we have is that Chris Evans is in talks to play the dentist in a remake of Little Shops of Horror.
Oh. Um. That's an interesting casting. I can see it. I could see him doing that role well.
Yeah,
Actually, I'm all for this. I'm all for this. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I think he could do it pretty well. I actually recently saw Knives Out. Are you familiar with that?
I haven't seen it, but I want to.
Yeah, the character in that is actually sort of similar to. It just makes me think he'd be a good fit for the dentist. I don't want to spoil too much of that movie.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah, I love Little Shop of Horrors, and I think his energy would actually be pretty good for the dentist role.
Yeah, it would be a really interesting way for him to break away from Captain America as well, and show off what he can really do as.
Yeah, because I know I've seen a couple of his movies before he was Captain America, and he actually used to play a lot of like comedic roles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm actually kind of curious who else they might cast. I don't know how they're going to recast Audrey, too. That voice is really iconic.
Yeah. Laverne Cox.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they could pull. I don't know if that actor is still alive, but I guess they could just do a Lion King where they brought back damn it, why I always forget his name? I hate to say it, Dark Vader.
Oh,
Earl Jones something.
No, well, not Leonard Nimoy. James Earl.
Yeah, James Earl Jones. Yeah, I know for Lion King, that's the only actor they brought back when they remade it.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, he is. As an actor, like, you know, he deserves it, but I also can't help but wonder how it feels to be snubbed by
Yeah.
for all the other actors who were hoping to reprise their roles,
I know
you
a
know?
lot of them a lot of them were really mad.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that movie did not do good at all, so.
Yeah, I saw it on Disney Plus. It wasn't.
Oh, really? How bad I know the CGI was supposed to be really bad.
Yeah, the CGI was bad, and they ruined Be Prepared.
Oh, that sucks. Well, then again,
Yeah,
I saw what they did to King Ali in Aladdin.
I didn't think that was that bad.
Really, you liked Will Smith rapping in the middle of it?
I just like Will Smith. That's the problem,
I like
and
Will
like
Smith
that's what
too,
they're
but
banking on.
that's one of my favorite songs.
And it wasn't a good rap. Like,
I'm kind of curious to see what they do with Mulan. If they do it right, I think that could be interesting. A more serious Mulan would actually kind of be neat.
yeah, like they can only go from Mulan. Wait, no, that sounds like I don't like Mulan. I love Mulan.
Yeah, I kind of get what you mean, though.
I could see them improving if
Yeah.
they had their ducks in a.
Yeah, it's coming out. I don't know. I've seen only a little bit of it, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Just based on their track record, though, there's just no way.
Yeah. Well, then again, they're really trying to break into that Chinese market, so they might be putting like a little extra oomph on that one. Okay, so we have we have one more article, and this is just a big rumor. I doubt it's even in the realm of possibility, but there is a rumor that Marvel Comics may be trying to buy DC Comics.
Yeah, I've heard this rumor too. And I'm honestly like, from a political perspective, it's terrifying that Disney is buying up everything. But
Yeah, I
from a
agree.
fan perspective, I finally get to see Superman punch Cap. So, you know.
Well, yeah, that is a. So I don't read much comics, but there is an interesting history with that. So,
Mhm.
at one point in time, DC was going to buy Marvel, like in the late 70s, or vice
Really?
versa. Yeah, and then later on, the roles got reversed. I think it might have been Marvel.
Okay.
Might have been the one that got into bankruptcy at that time, because that's how the movie rights ended up with Disney and all that. But
Mhm.
yeah. So at both times, the both comics have almost gone out of business and been bought by each other. But I do know there are a few crossover comics because of that, because they were testing the water. So I know there is a comic where like Superman versus the Hulk and Batman and Spider-Man team up.
Yeah. I want to read that comic really bad just to see if it's any good.
Yeah, I can try to find it.
Because
Lend
I
it
love
to you.
crossover.
Yeah, like what
Okay.
the title's called.
Like Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorite video game series.
Yeah,
You know.
the potential would be really interesting. I don't know if Disney, and I know Marvel Comics is a sort of its own entity, but it's still kind of owned by Disney. I think this is just comic books, not movies per se.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting. I would love to see like the comic book potential and like the gaming potential, like an Injustice, but with Marvel and like just do a Marvel versus DC video game.
Yeah. Marvel versus DC, anything. It would suck.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's pretty much an unconfirmed rumor right now. I doubt it would
Mm-hmm.
happen, especially with how big Disney's gotten. I know there's a lot of like anti-monopoly laws going on right now.
Property loss?
No, so like when they were trying to buy Fox, they had to take it to the courts because
Right.
way back in the day when there were like huge monopolies, they had to institute rules that you couldn't like just keep buying out other companies. There had to be competition.
Right.
Which I mean, they don't really obviously use them that much anymore. That's why we only have free internet providers in America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I know the other big one was like Sprint and T-Mobile are merging right now.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
All right.
pretty much all the news. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss before we finish up?
No. I'm honestly pooped. That was a lot of stuff for us to do, but also a lot of.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of good conversation this week.
Yeah, me too. Especially since we weren't being constantly interrupted.
Yeah, it was a lot better this time. A lot less cutting out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that helped with a lot of our audio issues. So anyway, thank you guys for listening, and we will see you for the next episode.
Thank you all so much.
Bye.
Bye.